Thanks for joining us today on the Three-Man Blitz. I'd just like to take a moment to remind you to follow us on Twitter at Three-Man Blitz. Visit us at www.threemanblitz.com. You can listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcast, Breaker. And don't forget to view us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks, guys.
Hey, guys. Welcome into the Three-Man Blitz with me, Jeremy. You got Andrew. You got Queasy.
Yes, sir.
Episode, we're going to be going over the NFL. We're going to do a slight recap from the previous week. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of surprises, and then we're going to look forward to next week. And we're going to take a look at some of the news around the league, maybe some fantasy guys you guys might want to talk about. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start drinking because I need it.
Yeah. It's been a long week.
It's just Tuesday.
It's been – see, that's the thing, though. Our week is like 5 weeks long.
We've been working a lot at our day job.
Our day job.
I'm going to drink some Crown Victoria.
Yum, yum. Sounds yummy.
I know a guy that drives one of those.
All right, Andrew, you want to –
Oh, yeah. Hold
All right, get it going. Andrew,
right.
Dear God.
Since I've already taken a sippy sip of my so we're going to go over all of the games, obviously, but there's one in particular that I'm looking at. It was the first one that's actually up is Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans. So that game, Tennessee did win in overtime, 42-36. Anybody that watched it, it was a really good game, probably one of the better games that I've seen that went back and forth that I've actually seen this year. And what really made it bad was, the Texans have fired their head coach, and they've got the interim.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I was going to say Mason Rudolph. It's something Rudolph, isn't it?
Give me a second. I should know this.
I even had it. I just forgot it.
Hey, keep going.
He's the tubby fella. Anyway.
Tubby.
That tubby boy. Anyway, they scored a touchdown. And
Romeo Crennel.
I was close.
Mason Rudolph, Romeo Crennel.
If he had went for the extra point kick, they would have been up 8 points. Instead, he elects to go for 2, I guess, to try to put it out of reach or make it 2-score game, which I understand, I guess.
I get it.
But then Tennessee scores pretty quickly, I might add, and of course, they're just up 7, so they can kick the extra point. And then it goes to overtime. They lose the coin flip. Tennessee drives down and scores, and that's the game. So I mean, why not?
Well,
why not, man?
Let me give you this, man. Like,
put the pressure on the
as a Texans guy, I've been following the Texans a little bit this season. I like Deshaun Watson, this and that, but to start the season, I was not ready to give the Titans credit. And even looking at it now, they're involved in a lot of close games, but the Titans are winning these close games. Yeah. They've got grit, man, and you can't deny it. Tannehill's playing good. I mean, Derrick Henry is a tank.
Yeah.
What else can you say? I mean, the Texans looked pretty good in this game too. I saw a spark of life that you haven't really seen this season. So I think there's more to be had out of this team. But quit shaking your head. You 1-5 Falcons.
Get out of here. But just big thing. Tannehill might be in the conversation of MVP.
Whoa.
I think he's been
belongs to Russ.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. I think it's been kind of slept over because of Russell Wilson, because of Aaron Rodgers, how they started out. Those kind of guys. So, but with the start that they have, you can't deny this kind of guy.
No doubt. And they had A.J. Brown back for that game, which really helped him.
Yes.
With some injury. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Derrick Henry rushed for 212 yards.
Yeah.
He had like a 94-yarder from their own end zone.
Yeah.
That was fourth quarter.
Exactly. Not only 212 yards, I think it was like 4 stiff arms too.
No doubt.
You got to add.
I don't know if he's sent anybody into orbit with Josh Norman.
Josh Norman.
But yeah, I think I saw where he's the first player in NFL history to have 3 seasons in a row with over 200 yards rushing and like touchdowns in a game or something.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, and also Houston looks pretty good in that game particularly because they're out of that 4-game stretch of like the best defenses in the league. So maybe it's not as bad as it looked there. And
Titans still have a pretty solid defense, but
but anyway.
What we got next?
You got a game you want to talk about, Andrew, or you want to list off a few?
I'm just moving down the list here. We got we'll go ahead and move on to Falcons Vikings since
Vikings.
he's so mouthy over here today.
No,
you.
my Falcons did win a game finally.
Yay.
Right after they fired their coach. And honestly, I'm sure it wasn't just the coach, but they were firing on all cylinders. I'm talking about offense, defense, running around the field, catching passes, throwing touchdowns. It was just a beautiful thing to see.
They were firing on all cylinders. That includes head coach.
Exactly. They looked way better than the Texans. I mean, just a random team to put out there.
Just to throw that one team out there. I'll tell you who looked good was Julio. Julio made an appearance in this game, and all of a sudden, hey, he's catching like 2 touchdowns, man.
He is, and I'm hoping that's a foreseeable thing to come. So, I hope it continues, man.
Falcons are a lot better on the field with Julio, and they seem to be a lot better without Dan Quinn.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. So far, so good. Definitely.
Queasy, what would you do to get Bieniemy as y'all's new head coach next year?
I would do everything in my power to get Bieniemy, because that would be the number one person, and I don't want to say the only person, but definitely the number one person to get. Again, he should have had a job last year with any of these teams. Again, the Giants have picked up the punters coach, and then what he was. The
special teams coordinator for the
punters coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The Giants picked him up, and obviously they're doing a little less than garbage. So, this guy should have, again, had a job last year. So, I hope he slips into our package and we get him.
I tell you what, they definitely should go get him. But in this game, the one bright spot for Minnesota definitely was not Madison, who everybody went and waiver wire pickup thinking he was going to do what Cook always does, and he did not. But Justin Jefferson killed it. Justin Jefferson, I think, was the leading receiver in yardage in the NFL, and I think he had 2 touchdowns. He looks legit. Exactly. He is legit. He's the man now.
And if I may interject, a couple of these rookies are looking very good.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's halfway, Ruggs is looking good. Justin Jefferson stepping up. Quarterbacks are looking good. Hibbert. Tua is finally gonna get a start, but I'm not happy about that. But Tua's about to get a start, so he may shine also too.
Yeah, so
we'll get there in a minute.
But
touch it. I mean, Tua's starting, and what's crazy is for fantasy football is Fitzmagic. He's not doing terrible. He's putting up like 25 as a 4.
Exactly. That's why I was honestly surprised that he was going to start Tua.
Well, I think the mindset here. Yeah, I think the mindset here is we're not throwing him into a situation where he has to come in and wire need and this and that. And, oh, my God, you're going to be our offensive savior, this and that. It's a situation where, like, we're doing okay. Let's make this transition. It's going to be real smooth. Fitzmagic is still here. He's been playing well. If we need to put him back in, we can.
Wait. I'm sorry. I'm reading Jeremy's face. Wait, go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
It sounds like a total Dolphins maneuver here. Things are going good, so let's tweak it a little bit and then watch it implode.
Well, I mean, you got to transition to your first round pick quarterback at some point.
And I understand that, but I thought, the Miami Dolphins weren't going to be good from the beginning of the season. I already knew that. But I assumed they would come in. If you're going to play him like the last 4 games of the season and just see how it goes.
Right.
So he can survive. Or even save him to next year. But right now, no.
Well, see, that was my thought. But I can't imagine that with them doing as well as they're doing, that they would be putting him in unless he was like 100% ready.
He's probably ready, and you're right. If all goes badly, they can put in Fitzpatrick and presumably get back where they were.
But that's the bad part about it. If you put him in too early, and then you end up taking him out, that's going to make Tua look bad. In when she may not be bad, it just wasn't fully ready. Yeah.
But the timing is just. I don't think it's anything other than timing is what everybody's kind of like, what is going on? Because Fitzpatrick's not been doing terrible. He does have his really bad games.
Yeah.
He's thrown, I've got it written down, he's got 12 total touchdowns. That's 10 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing. But he's got 7 interceptions. But those 7 interceptions come in 3 games, and 2 of those games he threw no touchdowns, and they were all, I think it was like 2 and 3. in 2 different games, so 5 of those interceptions. So when he has a bad game, it's a really bad game.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, that's Fitzpatrick, you know.
That's Fitzpatrick. I mean, they just beat the Jets. Granted, it's the Jets, and it was 24-0. It's another one of these games we were looking at to recap. Miami hasn't looked bad. Even early in the season, some of these games where they lost, they didn't look terrible. They were competitive.
A close one to the Patriots. Close one with the Bills. I mean,
and the Bills are number 1. They're top of the division right now, and Miami's nipping at their heels. They're 1 game away or 1 game back.
I definitely think it all has to do with the culture change, though, that we're actually seeing in Miami. You've like taken your time to get down to the root of the problem. You've gotten out the players that didn't want to be there. You got rid of Adam Gase. Adam Gase is a cancer. Don't even get me started on that guy.
Doing it to the
definitely
doing it to the Jets. Yeah, and so things are looking up, and you can tell that it's starting to affect the players. They're playing better. They're playing on another level. And I like the direction they're heading in. They are looking right now kind of like how I thought the Giants would be looking.
Oh, God, the Giants. You want to talk about the Giants?
Let's talk about the Giants.
Game. All right, so the next game we will look at is just recap is the Washington football team versus the New York Giants, New York football Giants, where the Giants
New York trash Giants
win 20-19. This is an ugly game.
The worst football game you've ever seen in your life.
So ugly. And I think that Daniel Jones actually didn't have a bad game. He was I'm looking at stats. Daniel Jones was the rushing leader in the game with 74 yards.
I started Devonta Freeman.
Wow.
I mean, it's not all his bad, but Terry McLaurin had a decent game. Scary Terry. He had 74 yards. Kyle Allen had 280 yards in the air, but the whole game was just garbage. And the Giants look real bad without Saquon. They're quite a few players, quite a few moves away from being relevant, even in that division, which is bad, which we touched on earlier, I think, off camera about the NFC East is just so bad.
It is very bad.
So bad.
Yeah.
Here, y'all have anything to say about that game? I was going to transition right away.
I was going to transition too. We've spent a lot of time on this last week. We got to get it next week too. So
let's say NFC East real quick. Stuff. It was Baltimore at Philly. It was actually a pretty good game. Baltimore won 30-28, but Philly looked a lot better than what I think a lot of people thought.
Yeah. So how big are you guys on Ingram? I'm not Ingram, but Lamar Jackson.
He looked good in that game.
He's looked pretty good, but he's not having the season we expected him to have. I'll say that.
I'll say that this is the first game that I've really taken notice that he started to run football again.
Yeah.
What got all the fantasy owners hyped up and what made him the MVP.
Yeah.
He's been throwing the first couple of, and he's been okay. He's not really connecting with Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews, that connection's been good, but he's not been running. I think he's intentionally not been doing it. In this game, he did.
Yeah.
Good. I think that's why they won. Really had a good game.
I mean, of course, they have a good record against every team except for the Chiefs throughout the whole season. But I don't know. I just want to see more from him, man. Honestly,
I agree.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's living up to his MVP potential and where fantasy people have drafted him and what Baltimore fans are looking for.
Exactly.
Trying to get to the AFC East and dethrone the Chiefs.
He's trying to show a different look, though, I think, is kind of what you're getting at and kind of what I'm seeing as well.
But be who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, you were MVP. Why would you change that? And if you think that it was, you can do that maybe for one game schematically, but don't change who you are.
I know what you mean.
Don't be a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning. Why? If it's not you, it's not you. Do what made you MVP.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, Lamar, we got you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're listening.
So another game in that same division, we got Browns and Steelers, and I expected this game to be a lot closer than it was, but man, Steelers destroyed the Browns 38-7.
Yeah,
ugly. Odell was nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere.
It was just.
And again, that brings back in the question of Baker Mayfield too. I mean, everybody's not big on him right now, so. They're speaking of, okay, we need to get past Baker Mayfield, but, what quarterback are they going to go out and get, honestly?
Exactly. And, I mean, a lot of it, I'm going to say it, I've said it time and time again, their offensive line is not good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not helping things at all.
Yeah.
What's that? What's the guy at Ohio State? Justin Fields. Maybe they go and they trade up and try to get Justin Fields.
Let me tell you right now, man, dual threat quarterbacks are the future. I'm high on dual threat quarterbacks.
People love them.
Can make something out of nothing for sure.
Well, I mean, and Baker, I think he left that game for a little bit with a rib injury.
Yeah, he got shook up the week before.
Was that what it was? I know he was banged up a little bit.
It was his ribs, yeah.
But this isn't the Cleveland offense that we had been seeing, and Pittsburgh owned them. And a lot of that could be because they're in the same division. Pittsburgh sees them all the time. They see them like twice a year. They know everything about Cleveland. They're not like getting taken off guard by what they're throwing at them. So Pittsburgh, I mean, they led in just about every category. They let James Conner run for over 100 yards. Chase Claypool had 74 yards receiving. I don't think they really had an answer. So Pittsburgh outclassed them.
Are you guys sold on the Browns yet? Are you passing on them?
I'm never sold on the Browns until they start beating.
Unless they're at a Goodwill store, I'm never sold on the Browns.
Yeah. Unless they start beating the top dogs in their division, I'll never be sold on the Browns.
Yeah. Because right now they're sitting at what, third in their division?
Yeah, at least.
Maybe so.
Well, moving on, we had Bengals and Colts, which this is one of those that's a lot closer than I expected it to be. Colts came out on top 31-27.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I think was the difference in this game. The fact that Indy pulled it out is awesome, but I think it would have been not as close. Darius Leonard was out of this game. Their leading linebacker for Indianapolis, and he is a big deal, and he definitely runs that defense. And with him out, I think they struggled a little bit. And they didn't really have a whole lot of answers on the defensive side with just that one player out. That made it a lot closer. Burrow looked pretty good. T. Higgins looked really good. Talking about rookies earlier, T. Higgins was the leading receiver in the game. Jonathan Taylor – for the running back for Indy was the leading rusher. So I like that young talent. I'm still not sold on Indy, even though I had him as my dark horse Super Bowl appearance.
Phillip Rivers is trash.
I heard a commentator talking about he wanted Matt Ryan to get traded there.
That wouldn't be ugly.
If you were going to do that, I mean, do it before.
I think they were trying to talk as if since they fired their coach and fired their GM, they're trying to implode the team, So it's something that's out there, but I doubt during mid-season you're going to trade him.
I think it would all depend on the direction the new head coach will want to go, but we'll look at that in the future, I guess.
And that'd be a real hard sell to do mid-season.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You are imploding your team if you send away your starting quarterback. I mean.
And from again, we don't know the numbers wise, but a commentator spoke as if too much money would be left on Atlanta's books if they did trade him during the middle of the season, but at the end of the season it'd be less. So I doubt if they do it.
That'd be interesting. Something to definitely keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Moving on, we had the Lions and the Jaguars, and the Lions they came out and dominated this game pretty much, 34-16. And talking about rookies again, DeAndre Swift went off, man.
Right. This was supposed to be I think they had the over-under at like 55, so it was supposed to be a high-scoring game. It was supposed to be a back-and-forth kind of game because both defenses are not fantastic. Yeah. And Gardner Minshew threw for a lot of yards, but where's the touchdowns?
Yeah.
Keelan Cole had 143 yards receiving, but they just had nothing really. And Detroit finally showed out. I had a Detroit fan. It's old drunk Ben. If you're listening, Ben.
Trash Ben.
Told me that old Stafford hadn't thrown a touchdown against Jacksonville. I didn't look that up. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but one at least in this game.
Yeah. I heard he's thrown a touchdown against every team except for the Lions.
So maybe he can get traded. I heard that a lot in the offseason.
Definitely, I did.
Yeah. Lions fans hate Stafford for some reason. I'm like,
yeah.
He's not a bad quarterback.
No, I don't think so at all. I think he's actually a good quarterback.
I am proud to say, though, that he was my start of the week, so I'm glad this game was so one-sided for sure.
Yeah.
And they're 2-3, so I always pull for the Lions. I like pulling for the underdog. They always seem to be the underdogs.
Just not the Browns.
Ever since Barry Sanders and Megatron left, I'm done with them, man.
No doubt. That's been a while ago. All right, let's go next game.
Moving on, Bears and Panthers. Bears were the ugliest winning team in the NFL, but by God, they pulled it out 23-16.
Yeah.
The Panthers have been on a hot streak too, so it was a big thing for them to come in and get this win. And I actually the Panthers in this game. So
I didn't look at the box score, but how did their running back do?
The guy that's replacing
exactly
Christian McCaffrey.
Yes, sir.
Let me find the stats.
It's Mike Davis. Mike Davis has been killing it, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was asking. That's what I was asking.
I'll look it up.
Type numbers. He didn't do bad. I don't have the numbers in front of me. Andrew,
I'm looking right now.
He did
okay, cool.
He's been doing really good, and I would have said that Chicago was probably the biggest pretender because I think they're like 5-1. They just keep winning, and maybe it's because of the talent. But Carolina's been winning. You know what I mean? They beat Arizona. They were beating some teams and looking pretty good. So
okay, so it was an ugly day for him, but he did end up getting a touchdown run, which kind of saved the look. But he had 18 carries for 52 yards.
Okay,
man, but look at how many receptions, because that's where he's been living.
He had 3 targets, 2 receptions, 3 yards.
So they got away from him, because if you go and look at ever since CMC went out, that's where he's made his bread and butter.
Okay,
it's not running between the tackles; it's catching the ball.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I feel like they've gotten all of their success on a mediocre offense, and their defensive line has been stellar. Their defense has been doing the job.
Yeah. Who else we got, bro?
Broncos and Patriots. Broncos actually pulled this one out 18-12. What an ugly game.
It was. I think Cam had a hard game. I'm gonna assume it's because he didn't get a full week practice in. But he looked pretty horrible, honestly.
And the Broncos' defense is pretty good. You got to give them a little credit.
Yeah.
But
it was 18-12 too, and Gordon was out, and Philip Lindsay is finally healthy. He went over for over 100 yards, so I think he just brought a different kind of a different feel for the running back position, and I think that helped him out. Harder to scheme against that type of running back, New England.
Firing through these last few, we got Buccaneers and Packers, and my God. 38-10, the Bucks, man.
Christ. That game, I was like, oh, yeah, I just finished that Titans game, I think. And I was like, yeah, all right, let's go. Another good game. It's on primetime TV. Aaron Rodgers has been like MVP-style season, Tampa Bay, blah, blah, blah. Man, the Packers look like shit.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Tell us how you really feel, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, they looked Devontae Adams was back, and I was like, oh, he's going to tear it up, Aaron Jones.
Exactly.
No, man.
And I definitely had him for my start of the week, and it was horrible. It was horrendous.
But they did this last year too. Like they were killing it in most games, and they had like 2 or 3 where they just absolutely didn't even – and they still ended up with a 13-3 record.
That's what happened to them in the playoffs too, though. They got outclassed. They got shown for their weaknesses, and they lost to a superior.
Bro, it was ugly. When talking about this Tampa Bay game every play – the Tampa Bay was in the backfield. Every play.
And Dominican Sue in particular, and Dominican Sue was just running his mouth right in Aaron Rodgers' face.
Yeah.
And nobody's around, and I'm like, why is there no offensive line or anybody to be like, no, not our quarterback. No, they didn't do that.
It was
because Aaron Rodgers is all low-key. He's a low-key asshole.
He is. I'm glad you.
Dominican Sue.
He is.
Low-key.
No. Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I'm saying like Dominican Sue ain't low key, man.
Dominican Sue's like multiple time dirtiest player in the league.
No. That was Richie Incognito, bro.
No, that was him too. But
Brown.
The Bengals.
Brown. I'm sorry, Antonio Brown. Wrong Brown.
No, Antonio Brown's okay, but what's the dude that used to play for the Bengals? He always had a horrible.
The linebacker.
Perfect. Montez Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That dude. He even looked at Indomitian Sue like, yeah, damn, dude.
Bro, you need some advice from me.
Yeah, that's how bad it was.
All right, let's get to a better game.
Yeah.
We got nothing other because
Rams and 49ers. This one was a pretty close game. 24-16 was the final score. Wasn't necessarily a high-scoring debacle, but still, good defense is a fun game nonetheless sometimes. So
it was surprising. San Fran pulled it out with all those injuries. We were talking about it before the show off air, and San Fran, We were talking about how they're 3-3, but they pulled this one out against the Rams, and they're in the same division, and they did it. They pulled it out. They looked good.
I mean, they're one of them teams that's just like last year. You didn't see them coming along until the end of the season. So, and they may be in that same position. You don't want to count them out just because it may be a Super Bowl slump, but that's how they look right now. But again, they may get it rolling later on.
I'm also not quite sleeping on the Rams anymore like I was to start the season. I'm gonna keep an eye on them, but I'm not necessarily sold either.
That was still a real close game, and those are playoff type. That was a playoff type game. I mean, 24-16, and they both have the talent to get there. If San Fran can get healthy, I mean, look out. And Rams look good too. That NFC is pretty wide open, except for maybe Seattle, who had a bye week.
Well, speaking of a playoff type game, another one we had, looking at Chiefs and Bills. Final score 26 Chiefs, 17 Bills.
Definitely went the opposite way I thought it was going to be. I thought the Chiefs were going to have 2 losses in a row. But the Bills did play them hard, play them tough. The Chiefs look really good, and they pulled it out. And what's his name? Clyde. He was like, y'all brought in who? Because he was like, give me the rock, and he was gone. So he showed out that game.
Yeah, Le'Veon's not technically active, I guess, on the roster until this upcoming week.
Exactly.
So
he thought he had a chance to lose in that game.
Yeah, we're not worried about it. He led the league behind Derrick Henry. He led the league in rushing yards, 161.
You say we're not worried about it, but they signed this old running back, and they've got their young buck that they probably want to keep involved in the passing game.
Definitely
and you bet your ass they're probably going to run the wheels off him just because they can.
And I hope so, because I picked up one in my league. So
that's the shitty part is, you're going to look at Clyde Edwards-Helaire and you're going to say, well, he's going to lose touches, and that sucks. His volume's a lot when you're looking at fantasy. But maybe the quality of touches is better.
Yeah.
I don't really know, but it's kind of shitty. I
think they will use Bell more around the goal line. So, again, we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's fire off this last game. Queasy, I'm going to let you comment on this one first, buddy. Okay. Cardinals and boys. They got 38-10.
Fumble! Okay, that's all I got to say, man.
It's more like
Ezekiel Elliott, who's not known for fumbling, is like fumble. Yeah, so he's done fumbled twice in that game, which kind of helped the Cardinals, surpass the Cowboys in that game.
Yeah, man. Dallas all the Dallas fan base, which is pretty big, they're all pissed off right now because Dak went down with that horrendous injury, and he got Andy Dalton come in. He's supposed to be, a really good quarterback, which we all know the Red Rocket. We all like the Red Rocket, but in that game, there's no repertoire he has with any of his wideouts. He threw for 266 yards, but they scored 10 points.
Yeah, and I'm hearing a stat where Kyler Murray only completed 9 passes.
Yeah, but they were all huge passes.
Yeah, but I'm like, still, but geez.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, you complete 9 passes in the first quarter, bro.
I know.
Well, I have one name that I want to throw out here that Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
I told y'all. I hated the hire.
Yeah, well, they need some defense, and now,
and
I don't want to say that the building's burning down because they had one bad game.
Yeah,
they had Andy Dalton have to come in for Dak. I mean, I think they'll right the ship on offense, but defense has been terrible, so they need to fix that if they have
exactly.
Yeah, let's give Andy Dalton a little bit of time. Like you said, he needs to get in some reps with the number 1 offense, and I mean, I don't think the offense will suffer a whole lot, but that defense, you're right, it's Swiss cheese.
Terrible.
All right, guys. So to wrap up this episode, I'm going to fire off the list of games this next week, and you're going to tell me who's going to win. Okay. You guys good with that?
Good.
All right. Trash game of the week brought to you by Trash Bin. Giants and Eagles.
Probably the concession stand to win. I don't know.
No doubt. Just making a
little. But that means that people have to come to the game.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
I would say the Eagles win. Travis Fulgham, the former practice squad wideout, has a good.
We talking about practice
squad. There's a difference.
Yeah, I'm taking Eagles as well.
Giants. I'm a rebel.
Right. Nice.
Moving on. Saints and Panthers.
Saints.
God, I want to say Saints too, but they've not been good.
They've been good at home, and it's at home.
You know what?
I'm against the run.
I'm going wild here. Give me the Panthers.
You're wild.
I like DJ Moore a lot. All right, Jets and Bills.
Bills.
Why did I even? Yeah, Jets, obviously. No. Bills are going to destroy.
The Bills are on a 2-game losing streak.
Yeah,
with the Titans and the Chiefs. AFC teams.
Lost.
They're going to
Those teams. They're going to try to destroy this team.
They were going to take their anger out on the Jets. Man, I feel bad for that. No, I don't. I hate Adam Gase.
Yeah. Terrible.
Okay. Browns, Bengals.
You know, I'm going to take the Bengals for this.
You know, me too. I think they'll pull it out, man.
Bengals.
I don't want to be that guy, but I'm also taking the Bengals. I hate the Browns.
Okay. Cowboys and the Washington football team.
Cowboys. They'll pull it out.
Yeah, Cowboys.
Man, I don't know.
Let's go.
Go. Cowboys.
All right. Packers, Texans.
How about not the Texans? How about that?
I think the Texans take it, and I think Green Bay is reeling for 2 straight losses.
All right, yeah, I'll take the Texans too. I have to. Got to stay loyal.
Packers.
Now this one's going to hurt Queasy deep. Lions, Falcons.
No. Falcons, man, all the way.
Yeah, the Falcons. They got it going. Falcons.
I'm gonna sit with you, bro. I'm gonna take the Falcons in this one. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a fun game.
Yeah.
Steelers, Titans. Ooh,
that's like got to be the top game right there.
It's that reschedule. Well, I got another one coming up next.
I'm still gonna go with the Steelers, man.
Man, I think it'll be a close game, and the Titans have proven to be very tough in close games. I think I want to take the Titans in this one.
I'm taking Titans until I see somebody stop the Titans offense. I think I'm going to roll with Titans.
Black and gold. We'll see.
Seahawks, Cardinals. Ooh.
Real good game. Should be a high-scoring game.
Yes.
I'm going to Seahawks. It's different.
Let Russ cook, baby. Give me Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks all day.
All right, Chiefs, Broncos. Chiefs, bro.
Yeah.
They did beat the Patriots, but I don't think they get lucky 2 weeks in a row.
Dude, I'm probably taking Chiefs in any matchup. I mean, they're not going to win every game, but I'm probably going to roll with them.
I don't think – I think the Chiefs are going to lose more games than we expect, but I don't think Denver's defense is good enough to stand.
They're not going to be
real quick. Over under 5 losses.
Under.
Under.
Chiefs? Under.
They're probably winning the AFC.
I'll say 3.
Or 3 losses.
I'll say 3 losses.
I would take 3, yeah. Jags, Chargers.
Chargers
too.
Yeah, give me Herbert all day in that matchup. Chargers.
Okay, this one will be fun. Niners and Pats.
I hope the Pats can pull it out. I want Cam Newton to get back on a roll, so I'm going to Cam.
I'm going to take San Fran in this one. I think they are kind of starting to steer back towards that Super Bowl run that they so desperately want. They reloaded. They get some of their guys healthy. I think they're fine.
I think New England at home takes this one with their defense. Belichick, I think they draw it up. I give New England the win by a touchdown.
All right, Bucks, Raiders.
Bucks, Raiders. And it's at Las Vegas.
Raiders.
Yeah, give me them black hole Raiders, baby.
Man. Let's go. Black and silver, baby. Let's go. Screw it. Raiders.
Yeah, I don't like the Bucks because I don't like Tom Brady.
I don't either. I don't want to see him succeed.
Okay. Bears and Rams.
Rams.
I think the Bears finally get shown for who they really are, and I'm going to take the Rams in this one as well.
I'm going to take the Bears.
I hate you.
It's their defense. Their running backs. I'm not sold on with the Rams. I'm going to take them. Why not?
Yeah.
Bears.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps it up for this next week's games. Thanks for joining us in our recap, and we'll looking into what's going on with these teams. You know, we kind of had to take a minute and kind of step back from the fantasy aspect of it and the actual breakdown so that you can kind of get your sights right. Because, you know, you get these I don't know, you get it set in your head before the season even starts that a team is a certain way and they perform this way. And, you know, sometimes you got to, like I said, step back from it and take another look.
Yeah, real quick, I got 2 little bits of news. John Ross, the Bengals wide receiver, is demanding a trade. And the Titans lost starting left tackle Taylor Lewan to an ACL injury.
So the Bengals wide receiver – go ahead, Ben. Go ahead, bro.
Let me blow your mind here. John Ross is the fastest wide receiver in the league. Send him to the Raiders. Raiders.
They have 2 rookie wide receivers over there, so, I mean, it'd be a nice landing spot.
Speed kills, man.
Hey, let's speed. But you know what we say. Go for 3.
Go for 3.
Go for 3, baby.
Subscribe. Hit the like.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Queasy at RastaLion1131, Jeremy at Checkerboard J, and me at Jedi Quarterback.